In this edition of Unboxed, we'll open up the Bound for Hell on the Sunset Strip box set from Numero Group. 21 bands from the 1980s, including Black and Blue, Steeler, Lizzy Borden, Armored Saint, and a whole lot of lesser-known acts of the time. Plus, we'll flip through the included 144-page book on these bands. So yeah, maybe stay a while.
What's in the box?
As you might remember from a previous video, I was on the fence about picking up this box set, mainly because of what you get for the price, but I found a copy on sale at a record store, so I decided to pull the trigger on it. And now, we're all going to open it up, check it out. So let's get to that. Alright, here is the book set. It's actually a box set of sorts. I will put a graphic up of the hype sticker so you can read that a little bit better. It's a bit of a spiel, bit of a hype. It puts the hype in hype sticker, basically, for you. So this is a slipcase, so I'm going to turn it to its side and open it up that way. Being very, very careful. There we go. There it goes. Guy kind of looks like Michael Monroe of Hanoi Rocks, but it isn't him. It's kind of interesting. The back, if you just wanted a quick glance at it. Bound for Hell on the Sunset Strip. 80? Sure, why not? I do think this might be the SKU, but I'm unsure why it's so prominent on the box set. I mean, I could be wrong about that. I'm sure the Numero Group would know better than I would why that's there and so prominent again. But let's pull everything out. I'll put that to the side. Turn it over. Okay. So we've got the record in the book. Let's look at the book first. Come watch hell break loose. Nice. So we got some cool flyers. I'm actually going to put this to the side here. Here. The Troubadour. Nice. A lot from the Troubadour Country Club. So I was in LA off and on from probably 1987 and 1982, mostly off. And I almost did live there as well in 1989. I kind of made a decision to either move to California or move to Vermont. So you can tell which one I actually did. But I did spend months at a time down there. Just flip through some of these pictures. And it was very much a culture shock for this East Coast kid, for sure. A lot of people were very interested in being seen with famous people and having that whole kind of starfucker thing going on. Not my mentality. It was one of the reasons why I ultimately left Hollywood and came to Vermont, which is kind of a funny thing to say. Stormer, don't know the band. It'd be fun to check into who they are. Yeah. So my very short but sweet story about my time spent in Hollywood. Again, most of it was between 87 and 89. It was a little bit in the early 90s. You could kind of see things already dying off in 92. That was the last time I was there. Regarding this whole Sunset Strip scene, still going, but still not going by the same accord. Max Havoc. I have heard of Max Havoc, but I can't tell you any of their music, which is why we have this box set, so we can actually hear some of this stuff. Photography is pretty good. I'm sure a lot of this was shot at Gazzari's and the Troubadour and maybe the Whiskey and other places. Jaded Lady. Jaded Lady is in The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, the Penelope Spheris documentary. You might recognize some of the ladies here. We might briefly discuss that movie at the end of this video. Yeah, there they are. She was definitely in the movie. She was in the movie. Yep, absolutely. Jaded Lady. Brought to you by Miller Lite or Miller High Life. Steeler, of course, we know about Steeler. This is Ron Keel's band he did with Yngwie Malmsteen. Before Ron went off to form Keel and Yngwie went off to do his solo career. He did do a short stint, Yngwie did, in Alcatraz as well. But pretty cool. Early pictures of Steeler. You don't see a lot of pictures of Steeler, which is pretty cool to have him in this book. Of course, Lizzy Borden, everyone kind of knows Lizzy Borden, also in decline too. Great band, underrated band, Metal Blade band, of course. Yeah, pretty cool to see this band in here. And great shots, very great shots. Some cool text. It'll be fun to read about some of the stuff. I see Rick Fox mentioned. He was in Steeler. He was also in Wasp for a time. He's been in other bands. There's the man. Very cool. At least I think that's him. Someone will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Great picks. It's a cool era. It's a hard era to describe unless you were there. Yep, there he is again. But yeah, so Black and Blue, we know quite a bit about Black and Blue. They're one of the bands in this collection that were popular for a time. They had a great self-titled album. They had a few other albums out at that point as well. You might also know that Tommy Thayer was in this band. He later went on to Kiss, much later. Yeah. Black and Blue are also on the very first Metal Massacre compilation. The shirt I am wearing, that's not really an accident. I really liked Black and Blue. I loved the early days. I love the first album a lot. So there's that. Bitch, of course, also on Metal Blade Records and also on Metal Massacre comp, led by Betsy Bitch. Very cool band. The Damnation Alley EP is great, as well as the Be My Slave album. She's pretty cool. I'm actually wondering if the album cover was shot from this shot here, because that's the Damnation Alley EP, because it kind of has this close-up of basically that. That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, Betsy Bitch. Yeah, great lady, great band. I love the early Bitch material. It's very good stuff. Romeo, have no idea, but man, look at that look. That is an amazing look. They're bigger, they could be wrestlers. Yeah, digging that hair right there. Amazing. You know, it's funny, it's easier to laugh at a lot of this stuff in retrospect, but you know, at the time, a lot of it seemed perfectly normal, I guess, or somewhat normal. I think the 80s gets looked at as this sort of humorous, you know, curiosity by a lot of folks, whether they were younger folks or whether they were people my age or around, but weren't in that scene at all. They were very much a part of something very, very different, and all of that. VVSI, I don't know, but again, we'll find out. Hellion, of course. We know about Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn was the head of New Renaissance Records. Had a great career in the band Hellion. Some great music. Yeah. Should look up New Renaissance Records. They definitely had a number of interesting independent metal titles in the 1980s. Some cool bands as well. Love seeing Hellion in this collection. I think Hellion and Bitch and a few of the other bands that I really like Black and Blue and Steeler and Lizzy Borden, definitely make it. I do not know Angelus at all, so it'll be interesting to check into. Sometimes it's hard to figure out specifically what year or roundabout some of these shots are from. You can see some of the trends, you know, back in the early 80s, there were the muscle shirts that had like stripes or bullseye target kind of design, concentric circles. Sometimes you can spot that. Yeah. Nightmare 2. Interesting. Not Nightmare 1. Nightmare 2. Don't know them. Look forward to hearing them. Yep. Gotta love it. Love the ripped shirt. His girlfriend probably did it for him. Again, it begs the question, what happened to Nightmare 1? Someone will probably tell me in the comments, which is the best part of all this. Which, also don't know. And, you know, I keep saying that, but it's really one of the reasons why I bought this, is I really wanted to hear some of these Sunset Strip bands that I missed. You know, that maybe we all missed. You know, that's probably one of the benefits of getting this collection. Yeah. I remember when band guys used to write things on their arms. Nikki Sixx did this. They all did it. Stephen Pearcy, all those guys. But yeah, these guys are following suit for sure. Look at that guy. What did he eat? Who knows? Ready Kilowatt. It's an interesting name for a band. I do believe Ready Kilowatt was the name for the mascot of... God, I remember, I think you used to see him on like warning stickers for electronic products that you could electrocute yourself, kind of a thing. I can't remember. Someone will straighten me out on that one, but Ready Kilowatt was his name. He was just like a little guy. He was made up of lightning bolts, little cartoon guy, and all that. Of course, we know Armored Saint. Armored Saint had and still has a bit of a career. This is definitely the early years. This is probably before the EP even. In 1984. I would love to hear early Armored Saint, even pre-EP. That would be really interesting stuff to hear. John Bush, of course, later of Anthrax. And then back in Armored Saint. Yeah. Nice that they're in here as well. Leather Angel. I have heard of this band as well. I haven't heard much from them, but I've definitely heard of them. Yeah. Yeah. I think she was in Decline too as well. I think a couple of them might have been. I'm going to keep talking about that documentary, and I'll tell you why at the end of this video. Rough Cut, of course. Rough Cut was a band more or less discovered by Ronnie James Dio. In fact, Dio took them out on tour. Dio helped them write some songs. I think he produced their first self-titled album. Their first album self-titled. Obviously, they didn't have more than one self-titled. Yep. Mr. Shortino there. Very cool. He was Duke Fame, and this is Spinal Tap. Fun fact. Yeah, I loved Rough Cut. That first album is amazing. Really good stuff. Great songwriting. Great vocals. Absolutely. Does that say USA Baker? That's an odd little name to have. Or it says Lisa. Sorry, Lisa. That is an L, not a U. Lisa Baker. This is her? Maybe? I don't know. Let's say it is. And there's maybe more of Lisa. We'll just call her that in case it's not her. Would it be funny if her name is Betty? She goes by Lisa. Of course, Odin. We know about Odin, especially from the Decline 2 movie that Penelope Spheris did. Odin is very much front and center in that movie. For sure, yeah. Love the Odin. So did Cindy Burmisa, as we all know. Great shots. Of course, as we know, Jeff Duncan from this band went on to Armored Saint when Armored Saint was doing very, very well for themselves. So there's that. And it looks like we have a full track listing here, as well as looks like some of the releases. Again, there's the Bitch EP, Damnation Alley. Pretty cool. I really think this is very well done. There's more track listings. We've got more of these. This is the EP from Armored Saint. I guess you could track all this stuff down. It'd be a lot easier to get this box set, obviously. Randy from Odin. There he is. Some photo credits. I don't know if I recognize any of these names too much. But yeah, there they are. And some more credits. And the flyers. Overkill. Not the overkill you think it is. All right. So we'll put this here. And let's take a look at the vinyl. Does this open up? It does. Here we go. Got some more flyers. Really nice. Let's do the vinyl. It should be colored vinyl, and it is. I think there is a black version as well. Just kind of a gray and white design. Bound for Hell on the Sunset Strip. Very cool. Yeah, let's put this here. And that. Probably much the same here for Hell. And then the track listings right there. And is there anything else in here? Let's take a quick look. Make sure I don't miss anything because that happens from time to time. Nope, that looks to be it. So pretty cool box set. I especially dug the book, but I'm also really looking forward to some of these tracks, notably from Jaded Lady, Steeler, Black and Blue, Rough Cut, Odin, and basically all the others here. Retail price for the box set at the Numero Group website is $90 US, which is the going rate in most places. Though their site also offers it on other formats such as CD as well as the digital version, both for $15 US, though not including shipping for the physical format. You might try Discogs, but most users of that site are trying to get 3 figures for this thing, so maybe not the best option right now. As of this recording, I did see a limited stock of them at Amazon for around $56 US, though the vinyl variant isn't listed, so you might get black. Overall, I'd say shop around a little, and of course, check your local record store. You might just luck out, like I did. As for me, I got this for around $79 US, including tax. Not too bad. I would have snagged on the Amazon cheaper price, but like many vinyl collectors, I have huge issues with the condition in which many bought records from them arrive in my mailbox. Safe to say, I haven't bought vinyl from Amazon in at least a few years now. Perhaps you feel the same. You should definitely let me know in the comments if you do. Anyways, this feels like a really good companion to my favorite heavy metal documentary, which is, of course, The Decline of Western Civilization, Part 2 of the Metal Years. This is the VHS version. A number of the bands of the comp appear in one form or another in this film, so that gives the box set a bit of an added draw for me. So what did you think of this box? Would you consider picking it up? And if you already have it, are you satisfied with the purchase? Let me know all of that and anything else about the box, including the bands on the comp and in the book, in the comments below. And if this is your first time dropping by the channel, just to let you know, my name is Matt. This is the Accusation Network, where each and every week I do videos on metal vinyl collecting, but I also do videos on classic and modern metal in general. If you like the sound of that, definitely subscribe to my channel, of course, if you haven't already done so. But also maybe like this video and share it with some of your friends. Of course, thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.